The Curse of the Pharaohs. Fact or fiction? The ancient world of Egypt has captivated people's imaginations for centuries. Its colossal pyramids, mysterious hieroglyphs, and elaborate tombs evoke wonder, but they also carry an aura of danger, particularly surrounding the so-called Curse of the Pharaohs. This alleged curse is believed to bring misfortune or death to those who disturb the final resting places of Egypt's kings. Popularized in modern times after the discovery of King Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922, stories of this curse have embedded themselves into the world of archaeology, media, and popular culture. But is there any truth behind these claims? Or is it all a concoction of modern storytelling and coincidence? The origins of the Pharaoh's curse. The notion of the Pharaoh's curse is surprisingly modern. Although Egyptians believed in protecting the dead and the afterlife, the curse, as we understand it today, was mostly popularized after British archaeologist Howard Carter unearthed the tomb of the young King Tutankhamun. This tomb, located in the Valley of the Kings, was a treasure trove of relics, jewels, and the pharaoh's mummified remains, almost perfectly preserved despite being thousands of years old. Shortly after the tomb's opening, tragedy struck. Lord Carnarvon, the wealthy British aristocrat who funded the excavation, died unexpectedly from an infected mosquito bite. His death, occurring just months after the tomb's discovery, fueled rumors of a curse unleashed from Tutankhamun's tomb. The press quickly picked up on the story, weaving together a narrative that said disturbing the pharaoh's tomb had led to Carnarvon's death, along with a string of other mysterious incidents that followed. The rumor gained further traction when tales of a tablet found in the tomb warned, "Death shall come on swift wings to him who disturbs the peace of the king." Although there is no verifiable record of this tablet, it helped solidify the idea that ancient Egyptians had placed curses upon their tombs, designed to protect their sacred spaces from outsiders. A string of strange deaths. Following the death of Lord Carnarvon, other members of Carter's excavation team, as well as individuals connected to the tomb, also faced untimely or mysterious ends. Arthur Mace, one of Carter's key assistants, died after contracting an illness, and American visitor George J. Gold passed away shortly after visiting the tomb. Lord Carnarvon's half-brother also met a sudden fate following a seemingly routine surgery. These deaths, occurring within a few years of the tomb's discovery, seemed to confirm the existence of a curse in the public's mind. The press, always eager for a sensational story, fanned the flames, reporting on each new death as if it were part of a grand and sinister plan laid out by the ancient Egyptians. However, when each case was investigated, no supernatural connection could be drawn. Most of those who died had underlying health conditions, were older, or lived in an era when medical care was not as advanced. Howard Carter himself, the man who had first opened the tomb and should have been the prime target of any supposed curse, lived for another 16 years before dying of natural causes. His survival alone raises serious questions about the legitimacy of the curse. The role of media hysteria. The media played an undeniable role in spreading the belief in the Pharaoh's curse. The 1920s were a period of fascination with all things Egypt, spurred on by the wealth of treasures and knowledge coming out of the newly unearthed tombs. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb was one of the most sensational stories of the time, drawing international attention. To capitalize on the public's interest, newspapers around the world began reporting every possible connection between the tomb and any unusual death or accident. Headlines such as "The Pharaoh's Curse Strikes Again" dominated the front pages, blending fact and fiction to create an irresistible narrative of ancient revenge and mystery. These stories added to the mystique surrounding Egypt, but also muddied the waters of fact and fiction. Many reports on the so-called curse omitted important details about the age, health, or other unrelated causes of the victims' deaths, giving rise to the myth that continues to thrive to this day. Scientific explanations. Was it poisonous mold? While the romanticized idea of a pharaoh's curse makes for thrilling storytelling, modern science offers more plausible explanations for the strange occurrences surrounding Tutankhamun's tomb. One theory posits that the deaths and illnesses of the tomb's visitors could be linked to toxic molds that had grown within the sealed chambers of the tomb over the millennia. Some experts believe that molds like Aspergillus could have proliferated inside the tomb, thriving in the humid, dark conditions. When the tomb was finally opened after thousands of years, these airborne pathogens could have been inhaled by archaeologists and visitors, leading to respiratory issues, infections, and in some cases, even death. While this theory of tomb toxins is plausible, it remains difficult to prove definitively. Many archaeologists who spent time in Tutankhamun's tomb, like Carter, lived long and healthy lives, making it unlikely that toxic molds were solely responsible for the fatalities. Nonetheless, it's a scientific explanation that is far more rational than a mystical curse. Protective measures in ancient Egypt. Although the idea of the Pharaoh's curse may be more myth than reality, the ancient Egyptians did take extensive precautions to protect their tombs. The tombs of pharaohs were lavishly filled with gold, jewels, and other treasures meant to accompany them into the afterlife. Naturally, this made them a target for grave robbers. To deter intruders, the Egyptians designed elaborate mazes, false chambers, and hidden passageways in their burial sites. These architectural strategies aimed to confuse would-be looters, ensuring that the tombs remained undisturbed for eternity. Some inscriptions within the tombs even carried warnings, asking for divine protection over the deceased. However, the inscriptions that have been found typically focus on religious invocations and prayers for the afterlife, rather than direct threats of curses. The idea that Egyptians routinely placed curses on their tombs is largely a product of modern folklore. Modern science versus ancient beliefs. The enduring belief in the curse of the pharaohs reveals humanity's deep-rooted fascination with the supernatural and the unknown. In an age where scientific explanations for the natural world abound, the notion of ancient curses and hidden powers still captivates the imagination. However, most Egyptologists agree that the curse of the pharaohs can be explained through a combination of natural causes, coincidences, and media sensationalism. Many of the deaths surrounding the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb were linked to infections, illnesses, or pre-existing health conditions. Others were likely caused by stress, exhaustion, or exposure to the challenging environmental conditions of the time. While there are still some mysteries surrounding the deaths linked to the tomb, the scientific community generally dismisses the idea of a literal curse. The story of the curse, however, persists, largely because it taps into the primal fears of death, the unknown, and the consequences of disrupting the sacred resting places of the dead. The enduring legacy of the curse. Whether one believes in the curse or not, its legacy has endured for nearly a century. It remains a key part of Egypt's cultural lore and has influenced how the public perceives archaeology, science, and the mysteries of the ancient world. The story of the Pharaoh's curse continues to inspire films, novels, and television shows, solidifying its place in popular culture. Ultimately, the fascination with the curse of the pharaohs goes beyond a mere interest in ancient Egypt. It represents a fundamental human curiosity about the supernatural, the afterlife, and the limits of human knowledge. If you enjoyed exploring the mysteries surrounding ancient Egypt and the famous curse of the pharaohs, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth looks at history's most captivating legends. Stay tuned for more thrilling explorations into the unknown.